this. There's the Zoom, and I don't have to leave Zoom. I can go from Zoom to YouTube, and it's setting up a meeting for YouTube Live. Basically being able to do YouTube Live, other people besides those, if I subscribe to the channel or we send out a link, can see that. So we're able to have that as well. And I think we have this done. Okay, is there anyone, you can raise your hand, is there anyone that is new to the class that hasn't been here last Wednesday? Anyone? Okay, so Soren, have you registered, Soren,
For what?
for this class?
This class? I am in I was in your later class, but not, I don't think so for this one.
What do you mean you were in my later class? You switched sections?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so you switched sections from which section to what section?
I think it was your 635
35, and you
section. Yeah.
switched over to this section. Okay, so do you have all your Blackboard? Are you able to get all your materials?
Uh, I should,
Have you
yes.
done? So do me a favor. You can send then a direct message to make sure, Sebastian, can you make sure then that Soren is listed then into our audit area?
Yeah, I'll do that right now.
Okay, and then place him in there. Anyone else that needs to, and make sure that he's set, and he's also put him as a student in the audit area, and then promote him to teaching assistant, Sebastian. Okay, and if you have issues, let me know.
So you want me
Anyone?
to put Soren in the audit section as a teaching assistant?
Yeah, he needs
Okay.
to be in the audit area, right? He needs to be
Yeah.
at.
Got it.
Okay. First, you insert him as a student, and then you can promote him to teaching assistant. Okay, so welcome everyone. So what I'm planning to do today is we're going to have an assignment for next week. And one of the things that we're going to be talking about is collaboration. How do we collaborate in a person-to-person way? How do we collaborate virtually? How do we collaborate through different software programs? One of the things that I'm doing is I'm recording in Zoom each time. I'm recording to the cloud. We need to know what is the difference recording to the cloud versus the computer. I'm live streaming also to YouTube. I'm making people hosts and co-hosts. And I want to also save any of my work without a password. So raise your hand if you do not know how to do all of those things. Just off the bat, if I gave a quiz today, how many people could do that? Hands down. And the question is, that's what the assignment is going to be. We're also going to be in this class, we're going to talk about roles. What is the role of someone in computer information systems or in information systems? And the role is, what did I say, Andrea, is the need to know, right? That's kind of the basics of a role, is what is our need to know. And in this class, in our basic class, our need to know is I'm the professor, you're the student, you need to know your information. I need to know all of my students' informations. I get to upload, I get to delete, I get to modify, you do not. So let's first look at an overview of what was due up to today, and then we'll start going through our exercises. You with me? Kevin, you ready? Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. And in the first thing when I'm sharing my screen at this part, Zach, what do you see on my left-hand side here? What is this, Zach?
All of the students on Zoom.
Yeah, on Zoom. So you see here we have a URL that later on it could be a channel, you could be subscribed to. We had a channel here. I can put that into my notes here, and I can put in my notes here that this is my channel. and we can see everyone. That's why I want everyone to look, somewhat formal that we can check on. But if I go back to Blackboard, this is the section that everybody has, right? Our traditional audit area, and we had our course syllabus. Later on, we'll take our attendance. On the Zoom meetings, if you click on Zoom meetings, you will see upcoming meetings, but you will also see something in a tab called cloud recordings. So if you think about this, Zach, if you've missed any of the classes or want to review anything, you always can go to the cloud recordings and review it. So these are always going to be backed up, and these are cloud recordings where they have an ID, and if I click on it, you can see I can download some of those as well. I can play those. It gives me recording analytics that I can review. We also talked about the what's due section, and let me turn this off so I have the same things as you do, that we see here. We have assignment 1 that was due on Wednesday, which is today. And then we have assignment 2, which is next Wednesday. And you can see here in assignment 2, we have an assignment of advanced digital communication skills that we need to do. We need to do readings of a tech guide. We have to do adaptive assignments and quizzes. So I have on the what's due under Wiley and adaptive, you can see here that I have chapter 1. If I look at chapter 1, you can see here that anytime you click any of these sections, you can do the readings, and then you have adaptive tests there, and you can see under the adaptive test, I am what in this case, Mark? The professor, or do I have the student role?
In this one, isn't yours the professor view?
I'm done. I have the professor role, so it's going to be different. Should I be able to see what every student does? Yes. Should you be able to see it? You'll have a different role of just using yours. So when I open the assignment, this is going to be called the overview. This is going to be called dashboard. It's when we think about it, when we think about a dashboard, it's basically an overview and it's going to be based on a role. So what do I see here? I see that this was due today. 26 have completed it, and 10 people in this class have not even started. So basically they're letting me know, hey, we got 2 people are in progress and 10 haven't even started. We have to find out what happened to those 10. Is it because they don't have what are the issues there? So this is important. And in this case, I can go specifically to students, right? And in students here, then I see who has completed it, who has issues, who hasn't even started, what are the issues. So I see in this case, for instance, Brig, Jael, Peyton, Grant, and Thomas have completed it. So this gives me a completion here. We have to basically reach out to Sebastian, those that haven't started, what is the issue? We know they've registered already, right? I know that, Mark, they've registered. Why? Because their names are listed. Had they not even registered, I know. So I can see that this is basically all my students that are here. So we have this part going. And then if I go back to, this is the Wiley Plus, I know that in the Wiley, I know that chapter Tech Guide 1 is due for next week. And I know that these are the introduction to hardware, about hardware, and this is the adaptive assignment you need to do before Wednesday. And if I look at this, I know that probably since this was just done, that if I opened up the assignment, it should be that really only one has completed and the rest have not started, which makes sense. It's only being able to be used next week. So I got that part. And then under quizzes, it's the same thing. I know chapter 1 has been done already. You have 2 times to do it. And the quizzes, you have 2 times to do it. And the last grade will be scored on your grade book. We got that part. All right. Zach, any questions? We're set with that, right? So now we can proceed. So the next part of what's due is an assignment talking about using advanced digital communications. And in advanced digital communications, there are going to be 2 parts. One part is that everyone be promoted in another instance of Blackboard as teaching assistants. So you will have the rights, Mark and Zach, you'll have the rights and the roles to do more activities and tasks. And what you can see the details of the assignments is under assignment instructions. So if you go under assignment instructions here, you can say advanced digital skills, and I click on it, the PDF, you can see that this is step-by-step what you need to do for next week. In basically, the idea is the assignment is for you to not only become familiar with Zoom, but also Blackboard. And it's designed to introduce you to try out what local recordings are, cloud recordings, live streaming to YouTube, exploring all the Zoom settings. And this is step by step of telling you that the first thing you need to do is enable live streaming to YouTube on Zoom. And then the other one is to also live stream, create a Zoom meeting link, and record yourself in Zoom discussing how to do these issues. So you're recording your video, record locally, and then you'll record without a password. I want you to have your face shown. I want audio being done. And then you'll be also prompting with YouTube. You'll be testing and reflecting. You'll be basically being able to use those ways and tasks in Zoom. You'll test and reflect, and then you'll submit. You'll submit to what I call the audit section. In the audit section, there will be a folder in which you'll submit your work. So in order to do that, what I want everyone to do is look on Blackboard, and you've all been added a section that's called audit. You all have a section called audit. And it looks like this. It's called audit BTE210-HI1 Fundamentals of Business Technology and Innovation. And right now, everybody, I want you to look to see if you have this listed. Zach, did you find it? And if you do, open it up in another tab. Gia, did you find it? Great. And Matthew, did you find it? if you haven't found it, make sure look for it and make sure that you have it. If you don't, put it on the chat, and Sebastian, you can see if there's certain students that do not have it. Under groups, you'll see here, it says audit. And you'll see something called groups, send email, and you will have something down below called users and groups. Everybody see that? Pavi, do you see that? Click on users and groups. And under users, click under again users. Pavi. And notice this is a list, looks like, of all our students in our regular class. Do you see that? And Ariel, did you get the audit area, Ariel?
Yeah, I see it.
Great.
Were you
So
talking to me? Sorry.
What?
Were you talking to me? I know there's
Yes.
a two. Okay.
Okay. So you have it there. That's great. And what is everybody's role now? It's not student, but what? In this case, Gia, what is your role?
A teacher's assistant.
Teaching assistant. So I promoted you already, Gia. Did you see that? You can tell your parents, I was so good in that class, they've already promoted me to teaching assistant, right? And so what is that? Who cares? The idea is you now can enroll anyone else in our class that hasn't been put into the section. You could enroll them. Now, if we see everyone now has rights and roles, and then if I go into groups on the top here, under announcements, you can see here, the top here on content here, you can see here, group 0 example, and you have my name, my email, and my office number. And my number. You see Daniel, who is also a lead teaching assistant, and you have Sebastian, who is here as well. You see him. So this is group 0. And if you click under group 0, you'll see it says Zoom individual assignment. And under Zoom individual assignment, if you click under this subfolder, you will see a sample individual assignment. And instead of a sample individual assignment, you'll just title it Zoom individual assignment, your name, and you will attach a file, and this extension is MP4. This extension is by the Zoom local recording, and you will see that I require any file that you submit on your own that you put the date in which you have saved the file, the time, your name, and in this case, it was Zoom individual.mp4. So this was the local recording. This is a cloud recording. This is the YouTube live streaming. You remember I had my URL here, and then you'll have a section here called Showcase, where you'll just showcase what were you talking about in your Zoom features. You'll put in here bullet points of what you've done here, creating a Zoom meeting, how to enable a functioning live stream, using the Zoom AI companion in the whiteboard, and a discussion about cloud versus local recording. We have something called AI companion, see if it works. And here you can just paste in what AI companion gives you. They've given you a summary. Basically, AI companion is another feature of Zoom that through AI will try to summarize what you've done. Sometimes what would be interesting is to see how accurate that is. You may want later on to correct it. Then what were your takeaways? And then challenges and solutions. basically this is the first assignment, but you will do it within groups. So notice that what do we need to first do is create a folder, and you'll be groups 1 through, let's say, 10 in this case. And then you'll give yourself a number here, and you will then create, you can see here is I can create a content folder, and I can give it a name. Here you can put in the date, you can put in all your members' names, and then at the very end you can submit. So you're going to be doing this in the audit area. So I'm going back to my regular section, and this is done in the first section. Any questions? Sebastian, have we gotten everybody settled on the audit area?
Yeah, and I double checked Soren's in the audit section already.
Okay, perfect. So what's the first thing that I need to do then? Is I need to create breakout rooms. And in the breakout rooms, I have now, how many students I have? 37, 30, I guess. With me, I have 36, I guess 35, 34. So I can do then groups. I'll do a breakout rooms with, let's say, 9 breakout rooms. So I'm going to go to breakout rooms. I'm going to basically, I'm just going to remove your co-host. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create 9 breakout rooms, 4 apiece. And I'm going to create them. And then what I want you to do is go into your breakout rooms. And based on your breakout room number, you will then go into your audit area and create, just like group 0, create it with everybody's name, their email, their phone numbers, and then you can discuss a bit about the assignment. The first assignment I will give you is individual, but you can get help from your group. So if you're having issues, you can even possibly do it at that point. And then our second assignment will be a group assignment. But first we want to do it individually to make sure that it's done. So I'm going to create these breakout rooms. What I want you to do is go into your room and have everyone then create your group. And in the first half of the semester, we're going to be putting in all our assignments in this section, what I call the audit areas. And then we'll come back and we'll talk about what are the advantages and disadvantages of having this audit areas. What are our role? What are our responsibilities? And what are the pros and cons of this? So let me do this. I'm going to create the rooms, and I want you to go in them, and you'll create your folders and put your folders in the correct order. And once we do this, we'll go back to our regular session, and we'll talk about it and we'll review it. So let's do create. And I'm going to open up all my rooms. I have 4 people to my rooms. I'm opening them up. And now go ahead and join. Okay. So any questions, Sebastian?
No, some girl, Valentina, texted me that she couldn't see it, but we managed to figure it out and she
Okay.
found it.
Okay. So what I want them to do is then what we can do is we can go into their breakout rooms We can join. You can start at the end and I'll go to the beginning
Okay.
and then we can see if anyone's having any issues. Anything that I need to focus in.
No, anything that the students have needed, they've honestly been texting me privately, so I think we're doing good. There haven't been a lot of questions anyway.
Okay.
But I think everything's been covered so far.
Yeah, and then what you can then announce if they're having issues. The only thing I'm thinking there may be an issue on is doing the YouTube.
I
So
mean,
when
I explained in the video, I made a demo version and I put it in the video. Please make sure to do it a day before. And then now in the breakout rooms, I'm also going to tell them I recommend
okay,
do that today.
yeah, and you know what? You may then when we come back, you may play it a little bit to show that they can view yours. Do you explain that in your video?
Problem is in my video, I don't know how to share my screen where they can see the YouTube, but I told them in the video vividly, move your mouse pad down, look where it says more, click live stream to YouTube, blah, blah, blah,
Okay,
blah.
okay. You can share your you should be able to share your video on Zoom as well. You know
Oh
what
yeah,
I'm gonna
no.
do? I'm gonna maybe after this, we'll go through after they all set it up, I'll go through the Zoom settings to make sure that they understand.
Okay.
They're gonna need to go to miami.edu for their Zoom settings.
Okay.
Okay.
So you want me to start in room 1?
Yeah, you start in the last, what is the last room? Room
Okay.
3? Okay,
No, the last one's room 9. Okay.
9, okay. Okay. And then I'll join them and we'll meet in another couple of minutes, okay?
Okay.
I'll call you back.
Okay.
Okay. Everybody back with us? So, Henry, okay. So questions before we look at what you've done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. And in this case, this is my regular section. And people were asking in this case for our other section. So this is the groups for my other section, which is the audit area. So I have the first, you see group 0, 1, I have. In this case, these need to be, it's important, we need to have the name, your email, and your phone. So in this group, group 1 needs to add their phone. Group 2 is fine. Group 3 looks to be fine. Group 4. So in this case, I have Kevin, Henry, Andrea. In this case, Andrea, all of a sudden it says availability. Item is hidden from students. It will be available after today. So in this case, this is what we do when I want to put an assignment or my teaching assistants put an assignment, they'll say it'll be available after today. Why are we, Andrea, able to see it, even though it says it's hidden?
Because we're in the audit group, we have the TA role, so we can see it.
Right, right. So if we wanted to, can I edit what you do? Andrea?
Yes, sorry, yeah.
Can you edit what someone else's thing, another group does?
Yes.
Can other students, that's great when you want another group to help you. What's the disadvantage, Andrea, of that?
They can mess with your work.
They can mess with your work. They can delete your work, right? They can put other things in. So one of the things that we're doing, did you hear that, Gia? So one of the things when you ever do an assignment, what I would do is I would back it up on your own computer in the cloud somewhere else, because guess what? It is vulnerable. Also, what you want to do is you may want to, in this case, this has an audit trail, Andrea. So I know when you submit, right? I'll be able to know when you submit, the time, the date and time. We can go backwards in time, but you may even want, in this case, to do a screenshot showing that you have submitted. You understand? In your work to be able to see it. So even though it's great, Andrea, do you see that we all now have our roles expanded? We have to act responsible for it, number one. And number two, Andrea, what is that we need to know to back up our own things, just like we would anyways, because if I just back up on premise and my hard drive could possibly break, right? Or do something. Even if I back up on another device, their server may be down. So I always want to back up to multiple devices, but I just wanted to show you. And if I looked under edit, you can see here group 4, which you have here, and the icon here, and permit users, you can see here, permit users to view this file, track the number of views. So in this case, it may even be good that you could even track it to see who's looking at it. It's a possibility that you could even do. I'm not going to mess with yours, but you can see that you have it, how easy it is to edit, but this has to be, of course, in contact folders. How do I know that it's in folders? This is just a symbol of a folder. Look, this is a symbol of just a file. So I have it, 2 is good, 3 is good, 4 looks at, in this case, it's good to have the same format. If I then go into group 4, what is the problem? I wanted to have this, everybody should have this, not only one level, right? group 0. Once I go in group 0, I should see then another folder called Zoom individual assignment. If your group doesn't have it, when can you do it? You can just do it right now. So you have to go into the second folder, and under Zoom individual assignment, this is where you will then upload your assignments. And notice what I have here, even my group 5, right? Notice this symbol here is how do I then submit? You will always submit as an item. Put a note there. You're always going to submit as an item, because in an item, you can put the name, you can put in some information here. You can put, if you want, you can put in, you can attach files. You want to permit users to view the content, and then you want to submit. None of you were born with this, right? It's easy when you know it. So once you look up here, you can see groups. And then under groups, then it'll be Zoom individual assignments. And then when you want to create your item, you'll create it now. Now, one of the things I want to stress here is in creating to be able to do live streaming, Google many times has to have you wait at least 24 hours. Also, another point is that if you have a Gmail account, a regular Gmail account, not the university's, then you can use it. You cannot use the university Gmail account to live stream. Why? Because you are not really the administrator. The university kind of controls your university Gmail account. So that's number 1. So if I look the same thing on group 1, the same thing. So each group now, what I want you to do is have it look, when you have your first level, go to the second level and create another folder called Zoom individual assignment. And of course, you only do it once. So you have someone be your contact person to do that now. So if I go back to group 4, you want to be able to see it now. And my edit mode is, make sure your edit mode is on. So if I have, in this case, group 6, just like this, just like group 6 has. You see, Zoom individual assignment. And then at this point, there should be nothing in there because you haven't done the assignment. The assignment is due a week from today. So what I suggest is you start doing your assignment early. And it'd be great if you can get it done by Monday, at least the first draft, so we can give feedback and see what are the problems. Another thing that you will want to do under your way is if you go to another tab and type Zoom Miami.edu. Did you do that, Gia? Everybody type Zoom Miami.edu. Did you do that, Ariana Rodriguez? And then what you want is to go to settings. Christian, you there with me? And that's what we were talking about before, is you want to help everyone. This is a type of class that's probably different than most of your other classes. My way of working with my classes, I see you as we're in this together. I do this for a living. I am involved in AI research-wise, consulting-wise, all the things that are involved with collaboration in IT. And I view you as basically my colleagues in working this out together. You understand that, Christian? I don't see it. I have some experiences that you don't. And guess what, Christian? You have experiences that I don't have. You're in the POV, point of view of a student, right? You've been basically all your life have been grown up with social media. You probably could run rings around me in certain parts of social media. You understand? So it's the idea we're going to help each other. So one of the things that you see in AI is you're going to turn on certain things about AI, make sure that your version works. Now, some things you'll see that the university, it's grayed out, has said they're not allowing us to do. That's another version. We'll have security come, Christian, and try to explain to us why are they forbidding us to do certain things. And you probably know already that irritates me, right? That anybody's trying, they have to really convince me to do it. But you'll see that you can, this is being locked out, but you can basically open up a lot of things of meetings with AI companion. Let's see how it works. It may not even work well, right? But you can then look at it and see what's happening. For me, I'm not turning on the meeting automatically, but I want them to send me an email when sharing with users. Right now, I'm automatically sharing it with only the host, co-hosts, and alternative hosts. You may want to share it with others. You decide. But you can see here that this is AI meeting, and then you want to look at recording, and you want to make sure that you're recording to the cloud, the settings you put in, the smart recording, it's telling me users ways. I do not want you to use, you see here where it says require a passcode to access cloud recordings. You see that? Christian, I want that off because I don't want to spend time putting in passwords to see your recordings. And I don't put in passwords for you to see my recording. I don't have anything private. Notice when I talk to students about personal items, I don't record. So there shouldn't be a reason why I have this. But you'll see here, these are the areas in which you want to make sure that you can do it. And guess what? We're live streaming to YouTube. You want to be able to look at areas where you can live stream. If you don't know where that is, Kristen, you have an idea? Look it up. You can ask ChatGPT. You can basically ask Zoom. You can ask others. What I want you to do is you have opened the world to you to find these answers. You understand? So you say, hey, I need a live stream. I got to find out then the setting that allows me to live stream within Zoom. Everybody with me? So these are the things you can explore this together with. You decide how you want to do this first assignment. The second assignment, Andrea, will be a group assignment where you'll be doing things with your group on Zoom and talking about other things as a way. But so I'll have both ways. I'll have things as a group. I'll have assignments individually, but your group, you can consult with each other, Christian. You can consult with each other, and I plan if people are having problems and they're getting stuck, help them out. Because guess what, Christian? At the end, you'll be asking questions and you want them to help you out. Two ways. But again, I stress here, if you if you like to be a slacker, think again if you want to continue with this class, because this ain't for slackers. You may want to slack in other classes, and that's fine. And I really, slacking is, I'm not putting a judgment here, but that's not going to be for this class. So everybody has to put in their full weight and not at the last minute. Those of you that love to procrastinate, this also is, you got to change that. Because guess what? Things have issues to it. And the other way in which you can think about it is you are asking, in this case, my YouTube channel, it is for ITIS training without the G. You can subscribe if you want to it, and then you'll see yourself all the time. You can even say, you may not want to do it, but if you want to, you can even have your, whoever you want that can subscribe. The beauty here is right now we're not monetizing it, and right now we're not moderating. But later on, you'll be doing this, and for your project, you will have a YouTube channel, and you'll see then, can this be used in a business application where you can have things in Zoom and you may have an overflow, Andrea, and you say, hey, this, I can have this as basically my VIP pass that you can speak with Andrea about legal and AI subjects, right? And then those that want, we're giving a free version that you can watch us on YouTube, and you can put chats there too. So we're trying it out. Basically, what I say is I do a lot of research, and I like to use my own dog food, and I like to bring you in. And as I said to others at this time, many times it would be a disservice to you if you just read the book. What I want you to be able to do is you have a whole portfolio of, you have tools and ways in which you can deal with this new world of AI. And we'll talk about the disadvantages. We'll talk about how there's issues, hallucinations, other things, but you need to, I don't think there's any profession that is not going to be using that along with it. And if you're, in my opinion, for instance, if you're an attorney, you'll be working with it, or it, some jobs it will take away, you know. And later on, what we'll do is we'll all be AI consultants in different sectors. And we'll explore more, Christian, other areas to help us. You got the idea of the class? But I wanted to make sure that everybody's on board. If you're not on board, this isn't the class for you. Because other sections and other classes is you can be more passive. And some people like that. And that's it. Questions that I need to do. So this is the part, now when you go back to the assignment, right, you know what to do. Andrea, thanks a lot also. And Ava, thank you for helping us out in moderating. And anything else I need to discuss, anything? Andrea, is there anything else I need to discuss?
No, I don't think so. I think everything was covered.
Okay, everything's covered. You have Sebastian. You have his email in group 0. You can reach out to him if you need some issues that you're getting stuck on. But I stress to you, make sure by Monday that you have your live streaming account done. Because there's issues. Guess what? Am I in charge of Google? No. Am I in charge of the server? No. Can I help when they reject you? No. You understand? So a lot of things are not under our purview. So that's one of the things that we have to realize. How do we get around it? And also, how do we document it? In this class, it will be unacceptable. Do you hear me? It will be unacceptable for you to say, I couldn't get it to work. Period. You hear that, Mark? Just saying, I couldn't do it. I tried hard, I couldn't do it. And if you have not documented your problem and how you found a solution, you will get a fat 0. However, if things are beyond your control and you've shown the documentation, Mark, of how you had issues, then we'll try together to find solutions. And that's what we're going to be doing in the next couple of weeks, is trying to find ways and how we're going to document these issues. That's the first one. I don't have the answers. And a lot of times, even if I had the answers, I don't have control. That the university decides to not allow us to do certain issues, I don't have, sometimes even with my being a full professor, being a tenured professor, being the advisor to a number of IT, I still don't have full control, right? So we work around it later on. For instance, when we'll do some things with Zoom and our websites, we'll use a free version of Zoom. Because what? Christian, we're not the administrator. Sometimes the university is the administrator, we'll then not be. We'll have a way in which we'll be the administrator. Same thing with YouTube. Everybody here, you cannot use your Gmail account. You have to use a private Gmail account. Most of you, I guess, have a private Gmail. If not, you can create. And you can even create another Gmail account. Even if you have your regular one, you say, hey, I want a new one or something. That's not a problem. Okay? And Sebastian, anything else you would like to say, last words of wisdom?
No. I've been texting students left and right.
Okay, good.
I think if everyone needs my help, just make sure to feel free to text me.
Okay. And he likes to be texted. Fine. Perfect. How great is that? We thank him. And guess what? Sebastian was in your shoes last semester. And he became just like Andrea, teaching assistant in training. They said, hey, let me take on responsibility. And he said, I liked it so much, I'm going to get a paid version and help. And isn't it useful? I love it. And I think it's great for you too. Got another person, and he's close to you, that you can, he was a student last semester. It's really quick in his mind. And that's what we want to do. So I think, Christian, you got more of my philosophy there.
Yeah, I got it.
Got it. You're all welcome to join me. And if not too, not everything is for everyone. That's the beauty, right? You like, as I said, it's the trailer. You don't like the trailer, you probably won't like the movie. Okay, guys. So let me do the attendance. And then we will go from there. So I want to share my screen. I'm going to go back to my regular section, right? Make sure it's my regular section. Go to attendance. I'm going to do check-in. And 2444. After you checked in, stay with me if you have other questions. Otherwise, I'll see you next week. Try to do as much as you can on the assignment. So this way, guess what, Andrea? We can talk about issues. Because we're always going to have issues. This didn't work. This is a problem. Hey, if we wait till the last minute, it's like, hey, we're out of time. Great.
Thank you, Professor.
My
Thank you,
pleasure.
Professor.
Thank you.
Take care.
Take care. And Sebastian, just stay with me for a minute and then we'll press 2444. Jasper, did you get the attendance?
Yeah, I just got it.
Okay, good. 2444. I'm going to stop
Professor?
sharing. Okay, and Asher, did you find it finally?
I'm having a little bit of an issue because apparently it says I'm in the audit course, but it doesn't show up on my Blackboard for some reason.
Okay,
And
so
I just want to get everything sorted.
okay, so if that's the case, have Sebastian look at it. And
I'm
if
looking
it's,
at it right now. He is a user. It says he's a teaching assistant and everything. It's just for him, it doesn't pop up anywhere. He sent me a picture of what his screen looks like, and I don't
okay,
send him a
so you
picture.
know what? Is give him Blackboard's number. And then Asher, you're going to need today to call Blackboard and tell them what the issue is.
Okay, well, it's weird because if I go under my under grades, I see it there and I can click on it there and then I can access the
Okay,
page
so
grades.
what you need to do is, did you hear me? Is you have their number?
I don't have their number.
Okay, so let me just find out. Here's Blackboard's number. It's 305. Did
Hold on,
Johnny
let me
get
write
down?
this down. Yeah, let me get my phone. Hold on 1 second, please. Blackboard number. Yeah, I'm ready.
305 284
284
3949.
3949.
They're responsible. You see, I'm not responsible. Blackboard, Asher, contact them after this class. I think they're there till later tonight, right? Contact them, tell them that you're in tell them what section you're in, Tell them you're in the audit area and tell them what the problem is.
Okay, and then that sounds perfect. Thank you very much. And then also, is there anything else I should do besides that, like once I'm in? Because I don't know if there's anything today that I needed to do once I was in the class.
So you don't see the audit area at all. That's essential. You know what I'm saying? And then get back with Sebastian. You have his email, you have his text, you have his
Oh,
phone.
yes.
So you have his phone. So getting back with Sebastian, and Sebastian, you can basically check with Asher and make sure that everything's good. And that he can
Okay.
see because right now you can do the thing, you just can't upload the assignment. It's important for you to do it, but you get to do all your quizzes and everything like that you're able to do.
Okay, and I mean, my question was, I was just wondering, once I'm in the audit course, like once I contact them and everything I need to do, is there anything in that audit section that I need to
Sure,
submit
you have to
do?
put your that assignment that's listed for Wednesday, you basically place it there. You upload it to that part. Just like Sebastian did in his. Sebastian, you want to go over it with him maybe in another time to show him that? Just how Sebastian uploaded his in group 0, his assignment.
Yeah.
You're gonna upload all your
So the
work.
way you add it is you click on the folder, or one of your group members has to first build content, click file, and then type in the file. So if you look at group 0 or group 6 already did, for example, they did Zoom individual
I
assignments.
think I might have access to the course. I just have to like enter it a different way. So
Okay, so try to figure it out.
um
Okay, let me just do Jael. Jael,
Yeah,
how do you
for
pronounce your name?
Jael, when you go to group 6 and you click the
What
folder,
how can I help you?
Sebastian's helping me.
yeah,
Pardon?
I'm already helping her.
Oh, you're helping her?
When you
Perfect.
click the folder, Jael, where it says Zoom individual assignment, on the top, you know where it says build content?
Are you there?
Yes.
Okay, you click item, and that's how you submit your stuff. So you put the name of your thing, you'll type in the stuff, and then where it says browse local files, that's where you'll attach, for example, that's where you'll attach the local recording, which is a part of the assignment. And then you just click
The
submit.
video recording.
Yeah, and then you'll click submit, and that's where it's done. But that's
And
only
we put our
because
names
you put your
like
name,
individually.
you'll put Joel and Zoom individual assignment 1
And it's under that tab.
under that group, under that folder. For the next assignment, someone in your group will just make another folder, or you yourself, you go to big content, click file, and again, so forth and so forth.
Okay, understood. I see
Okay,
it. Thank you so much.
you're welcome. Have a great day. Okay, Asher.